Howdy, folks. This is the original Shotgun Outdoors. The original. There is no other. Anybody coming along after me claiming to be such is an imposter. That all being said, I'm bringing you a video today about my Barnett Recruit crossbow. I'd previously done a sighting in video on it. I got a good deal on this thing at the flea market. And it's a great shooter. I had changed the scope to the one I like. I'm not too much for the red dots because they take batteries. I don't want something with a battery. I'd even prefer iron sights, but I don't know how I'd get them on this particular model. So um, we can't do that today. But I got a scope on there that works pretty good, and I got it zeroed in. Then we were shooting last week. We had all kinds of fun. Some folks from out of town came in, and we just had a good old time. We were shooting crossbows and fishing and everything else. Camping outside, chopping wood, having fires, shooting the breeze. Um, just having a great time. Then on what was probably the last day they were here, we were back here in the back of the house. I was making some hamburgers, and the one fella, he had asked me if he could use my crossbow. Well, I had explained it to him the other day, and I had given him one to use, and he was using it at the camp and everything, so I didn't think nothing of him taking a couple shots with my crossbow. Well, I should have thought better and watched and paid attention, because next thing I know, I didn't hear nothing, but all of a sudden I heard, "Oh man, I messed up your crossbow, or I'm so sorry." And I looked and the string was off of it. So I'm just imagining he may have dry fired it. I don't know. Hey, I just said, just leave it sit there. You know, I mean, angry. I don't know. I just kind of upset. I'm always fixing something. That's what I hate. I mean, that's all I do is fix things my whole life. Fix them for a living. Fix them at home. You just kind of get tired of everything breaking after a while. So I was just kind of like, ugh. I'll look at it later. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He was like so bummed out. I think he's still bummed out. So hopefully we'll make him happy today, because I got the string on today. It took some fighting, but I got it on without having to take it in to have somebody look at it. And I think it's all right. There's a lot of damage that can happen if it's dry fired. I'm not saying it was dry fired, but somehow he got the string off of it. And I've never had that problem before. But the limbs and everything else look like they're intact. And I've already taken 2 shots. And if my eyesight doesn't fail me, which it does, um, but I think I can see that I hit what I was aiming for. So I'm going to take one more shot for you and then go down and take a look. But one thing that's very important to remember is any bow, I don't care what it is, it's a bow and arrow, crossbow, compound bow, don't dry fire it. By dry firing, I mean don't pull it back, cock it, or whatever, and just go twang. The whole bowl could come apart. I mean, there's unlimited amount of disasters that can happen from just simply popping the string off. That's your least worry if you just pop the string off. But you can shatter the limbs, you can crack the limbs in half, pieces can come flying off, they can hit you in the eye, they can hit your dude in the eye, or your wife, or whoever's standing by, your kids. There's just a lot of bad things. The arrow, well, you don't have an arrow on there, you're dry firing. But if you don't have that arrow seated properly, it could be the same as a dry fire. So just take the procedure, take the time to do it right, especially if you're new at it, and then you won't have any problems. That's the important thing. And so we're going to take another shot here. What we do is we have this rope cocker here. It loops around the back and then attaches to the strings. I'm recording this on a computer, so I can't really show you, but We'll try it. Let me try to turn that a little bit. Maybe you can see that. I can see my reflection. That's about all I can see out here. I can't hardly see what we're doing, but okay, there we go. If I aim this down just a little bit, I think you can see what I'm doing. You take the rope cocker here, and you clip the one on the string, then you put it around. There's a little notch back here for it. Make sure you get that in the notch. And then you pull it forward the other side and stick that one on the string. Okay? And we're going to pull back on it. Now, I'm not going to pull it back here because that's probably what he did. And there's a stirrup here for your foot. See? You put your toe through there. Okay? This part of it you can't see. But grab the handle. Pull it all the way back till the clock, till it's cocked and locked. Then take the string off. Most of these, if not all the ones I got, the safety should automatically engage. That's the anti-dry fire mechanism. So if you get it all the way back and click it in, you should be all right. But now, it's always important, if you grab hold of this thing, grab hold of this handle down here. It's designed, and wrap your thumb around the top of it, around the top of the handle, not above the string. Because if that does let loose for any reason, mechanical failure, dumbass moment, whatever it is, if your finger's up there, it could literally cut your finger off. That's the worst case scenario, but it can definitely do some damage, tendons, whatever. So it could be permanent damage. Anyway, to kind of help avoid that, when we put our arrow in, okay, every arrow is going to be the same unless you make the arrow and you don't do it this way. But every arrow should have two vanes. These feathers are called vanes. Should have two vanes of one color and one oddball one. And the oddball one should be set up with your nock so you can nock the arrow. Go over the top, put it in there. Try to stay up in the front of where the string would come across. Okay, so let's loose. It'll have less power up there. Okay, get that all the way back in there. Okay, once it's all the way back in there, we can take and go ahead and make a shot. Remember, see how my hand is? It's all the way underneath. Okay, I'm going to put it right there so I don't forget. I always put my thumb under there and hold it like that. That way I know I'm underneath it. Okay, then you have your safety here, which is ambidextrous, so I'm going to put it on with my right, or take it off with my right, because it went on automatically when I cocked it. Once I take that off, I can take aim and fire downrange. So I'm going to push that forward, get in a position. I don't push that forward till I'm getting ready to shoot. If you cock it right, it'll stay cocked all day. All right. That's simple. Folks, these outdoor sports can be a lot of fun, but they can also be a lot of misery if you don't do it right, because there is a lot of danger in it. Anything you do, from shooting a BB gun, even using a slingshot, which I occasionally do. I like the slingshot. It's a lot of fun. I'm just a big kid, you know what I mean? But BB gun, slingshots, they can all cause harm to people, and you know, serious harm in some cases. So these wives, you can get a nice boo-boo on your head, noggin there or something, and that's no fun. So just be careful. Read the safety instructions on your equipment. It's there for a reason. The reason it's there is because somebody else had a dumbass moment, I call it, and they hurt themselves or somebody else, or killed themselves or killed somebody else. So we learn from our mistakes, and we learn from others' mistakes too. So that's why that safety is there, because they've thought of these scenarios. These scenarios have happened in the past to somebody, and so they're giving you pointers as to how to avoid any problems. So make sure if you don't read anything, read your safety instructions and know them. Sure, it's pretty much the same from one to the other. So once you learn it, you learn it, but practice it. Okay? There ain't nothing that's you got to be in that much of a hurry that you can't observe your safety. Okay? So that being said, I hope you all have a good time. Get outdoors and enjoy it while you can. If you're down south, south of the Mason-Dixon line, it's just starting to warm up to where you can have a lot of fun outside because it was hot, hot. So now it's warm. I should say cool down. For us, it's cooling down as well, but it's getting ready to get into fall. All the leaves, and you might see some of them coming down upon my head because they're starting to fall off the trees. And I enjoy fall colors, fires, hot cup of coffee, hot cup of tea, sitting in front of the fire. There's a lot of good things that can happen. But just enjoy the outside because anything else is just boring. And God gave us this great planet with great weather, no matter what it is. It's all awesome. And just enjoy it. So God be with you. The original Shotgun Outdoors, signing off. Remember, I am the original. There is no other. Anyone else coming along claiming to be such is nothing but an imposter. Woohoo!